Hello everyone, I'm China. It's been about 3 weeks since I posted this video where I shared all of the planners that I purchased in 2023 that I did not use. And I have to say, my mind is absolutely blown by the response to the video. I truly didn't think anybody would watch. But I want to say thank you to everyone for all of the kind and supportive comments as well as all of the suggestions and recommendations. And that's what this video is about. I looked through all of the comments and I kind of consolidated the suggestions and recommendations that I got from all of you guys into 5 lessons that I've learned from all of my planner hopping and all of my planner chaos. The first lesson is to have a visible likes and dislikes list for planner buying. Now, I talked about this briefly at the end of my video, and I did in fact do this prior to settling into my Happy Planner Mini. So this is a list that I made in the planner I was using at the time, which is my Commit 30. And I had this like planner needs, likes, and dislikes list. I put what I liked, I put what I disliked, but this was a tip in to the planner and it didn't really help me out much because at that time I was only in a planner for about 1 to 2 weeks and I it's not helpful to have this inside of a book that honestly I didn't look at again until I filmed that original video. So what I did is I made a little chart for myself inside of my planner and I went ahead and I just used a Word document and I made a little graph where I put my likes and my dislikes. And for me, it was easier to kind of compartmentalize this into the categories that are important for me. So if you're going to do something similar to this, you might have different aspects of planners that you might like. But for me, what's important and what continued to come up for me in the video was I needed a specific monthly layout, a specific weekly layout, the type of paper that I was using, the binding, as well as the size. And I printed this out. I took a piece of scrapbook paper and I punched it to fit into my disc bound planner that I use. And then I just pasted the sheet onto the scrapbook paper and I popped this in. And I did punch this on the side for a reason. I want to be able to make a habit of whenever I feel like I need to buy a planner, trying to refer to this list here. I have it so that as soon as I open my planner, I see this list and hopefully I can start to make some better decisions. Now, does this mean that I will never buy a horizontal planner again? Absolutely not. But if I see a planner on Instagram where, it's a horizontal layout with cream color paper and it's a bound book and an A5 size, then it's probably not going to work for me right now. And I'll continue to check in with myself and revise this list as needed. So that was a recommendation that a lot of you had was to not only make the list, but also make sure that it's in a place that's easy for me to refer to. The second lesson that I learned is to have an emergency planner stack. So I was so ready to just give everything away, like every single piece of journal, like paper planner. I was just ready to give it away. But so many of you all were like, hey, I know you want to get rid of everything, but why don't you just keep a few planners that have some aspects that you kind of liked because you're going to want a planner hop in the future. That's just a consequence of being a planner. So instead of going out and buying new planners, keep some planners around. You can redate them and use them. So I started out with, I did a count, I had about 15 planners and notebooks all together, which was a lot. And now I am down to 4. So I decided to keep the Hobonichi weeks because everybody wants to hop in and out of Hobonichi weeks. I kept the 2023 commit 30. I was able to give the 2024 commit 30 as well as all the other planners that I had away. I'm keeping the scribbles that matters. It has a lot of sensitive information in it, and it would allow me to have more of a structured bullet journal format. And then I also am keeping the passion planner because I had owned one of these before and used it successfully. So who knows, I might want to give these planners a try. And not only will this save me money, but maybe hopping into one and setting one up for the week will really make me appreciate why I am in the planner that I'm in, so that whenever I scroll on social media and get that urge to hop, I already have something on deck. And that leads me to my third and very short lesson, which is to take social media breaks. So, this was a recommendation from all of you, and I had actually tried this before. I took a social media break between August 1st and September 13th. And that is when I actually decided to settle into the planner that I'm in now. And I got a lot of comments about, like, hey, I hope you find what you want. Did you find something that works for you? And the answer is yes. I did land into this Happy Planner Mini, which I do have a setup video all about this on my channel if you're interested. And it really did help me during that time to not have all of the noise from looking at what another planner has. And as we all know, that person might only be showing that one planner, and they may have like a stack of 20 planners that they're in and out of and that they just don't put onto their channel, so, or their Instagram, or they may be having struggles of their own. So taking that break is really helpful, and it really, really helped me out. And I'm actually planning another one. I think it's especially helpful during planner launch times if you're feeling like you're like wanting to buy stuff but you don't really want to buy. And I think it's also for me, I'm taking a little break probably in a few weeks as people start to set up their 2024 planners. I'm already feeling like I want to be maybe in something else, and it's just because I saw someone else use it. So that is my third lesson that I learned. Take breaks from social media, even YouTube sometimes when needed. And my fourth lesson that I learned, and this was a big one, is to make a dedicated planner spending budget. And I do budget my biweekly paychecks for grocery shopping, clothing, gas, all of those things. But I had my planner spending wrapped into a bucket that I called personal spending. And I just wasn't aware. So I got a lot of comments that were like, how did you spend $600 on planners? And it was because it happened between April and August, and it would just be like a $30 here, $20 here, $10 here, and it would all come out of this chunk of money that I had put for personal spending. So I am working on a planner budget, and I'll be posting a few videos in the upcoming days about what that looks like for me and how I'm going to recoup some of the spending that I had, like trying to save. But I had started to do this. This is a Midori notebook that I am using, and I had started to do that. I started to, for July, June, and May, just kind of go back and see exactly what I was spending so that I can put together an appropriate budget for myself. So stay tuned for those videos. And then the last one is one that I didn't even really think about until so many people kind of came out and were very vulnerable in the comments and shared that they had they had experienced either big life changes, they had, lost some loved ones, or moved, or, you know, had some type of stressful event happen in their life, and that they noticed that when those stressful events happened, that was when they tended to planner hop or overspend on planner or journaling supplies. And it just like a light bulb went off in my head that I think some of this influenced my planner spending as well. I had surgery that was major, and it kind of changed my life. at the end of March. And then my planner hopping started at the end of April. So I think I showed this before. This was the last spread that I did in my Happy Planner Mini. And I think that I was just trying to grasp for some type of stability in my life. And because I use planning as a tool, that this was a way that I was getting that stability. I would just come up with these ideas in my head that if I would just get this planner, I'm going to put pictures here and I'll track this in this area and I'll have this in the notes section. If I would just, you know, get this planner thing together, then everything would be right. And I saw so many comments like that. Like I just kept buying and I was just trying to get some type of handle on my life. So I bring all of that up to say that really continue to be kind to yourselves. And I know I said this before in another video, but you can do all the things. You could budget for planner spending, you can have a planner stash, you can make a list of likes and dislikes, and you can still end up maybe spending a little bit much. I think finding and heard from all of you that just finding the right system does take some trial and error. Maybe not as much as I did, but it's just something that happens. You have to try a bunch of things to figure out what works. But also, if you find that you are spending a lot, it was a suggestion by a commenter that like I tend to just take a step back and kind of look at my life and see what's going on. And usually there's something there that is happening, and it has nothing to do with the color of the paper. It has nothing to do with the binding. It has nothing to do with the size. It's just a little bit of instability in our own lives. So I just wanted to end with that because I know that, it's 2024 is coming. We're all going to start to reflect over our year. We're getting ready to put our planner lineups together. And it can be a time for people to really be rethinking what they have in their system. Maybe they purchased a lot and they're not going to be using it. But just, I hope any of these lessons that you all actually gave me and I just consolidated into this video can be helpful to someone. So if you've made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you. And I just have one more thing that I'd love for you to do. And no, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to the channel. I want to make sure that we can continue to have these types of conversations in the planner community. It's one of the reasons why I started this channel. I, one, love putting stickers on paper, but also I know that there are conversations that people want to have and things that people want to say. So please comment down below anything that you would love to see on this channel, any topics that you'd like me to cover, any particular questions that you have or videos that you'd like to see. I would love to get your feedback and input. So with that being said, this is going to wrap up our video. Thank you again for all of the support and your time, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.